Hey guys, good morning. It is November 27th, 2022. It's about 6 in the morning ish. And today we're going over some more lineage. And I know, like I keep saying, I know lineage is not fun, but it's setting up what's going to be going on later on in the text. So today we're going to start going through Noah's other son, Ham's descendants. And there's a good chunk of verses that has to do with Ham's descendants, and we're not going to cover it all today, but the first two verses is Genesis chapter 10, verse 6 through Genesis chapter 10, verse 7. And I want us to remember that this is a setup for what's going to happen later on. And I'm going to say some names that I know I'm probably going to butcher, but then I'm going to explain kind of where these names are, what these names are setting up. So starting in Genesis chapter 10, verse 6. The descendants of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The descendants of Cush were Seba, Helvith, Sabbath, Rima, and Sabachta. The descendants of Rima were Sheba and Dedem. I know, I butchered those names, and I apologize. But when we look at the four sons of Ham, what scholars believe is that they actually are the ones who started four very distinct empires in the ancient world. And we may not know them by name, but we know these empires. These empires are the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, and the Canaanites. And if you have read anything in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, you know that these four empires are enemies of Israel. And so it's setting up the fact that Ham's descendants were cursed by Noah. And that seems a little harsh, but if we remember what Ham did, when instead of caring for his father in his time of need, he mocked him. And this is kind of what these four empires do to Israel. They enslave them, they mock them, and God delivers them, the Israelites, from these four empires. So we see just how important this lineage is to understand, is because we need to know both positive and negative about where things come from. You know, to be honest, there's a lot of positive stuff that my lineage has from my family. You know, a lot of things that I'm proud of. But there are also things that are negative, and that are something that I have to overcome because of the things that were put into my family line. Addiction is one of them that is very prevalent in my family in one way or another. And I have to work with God every day to deal with and to overcome addictions. And but things that I'm proud of is hard work and that kind of stuff. So all of this is important. Everything that we look at and that we see in the Bible and is important for one reason or another. And that's why lineage is so important, and that is why, I'm not going to skip over it when we come to it, because the stories of the people are great and wonderful and they teach us so much. But if we don't understand where these people came from, what was set up beforehand, we won't understand the importance of the stories. Like knowing that Adam and Eve had 3 sons, Abel, who was killed by Cain, and Seth. Seth's lineage is where Noah comes from. And that's important because Seth's lineage was righteous in God's eyes. So, and when we get further down the line and when we see Jesus' lineage, we see just how important it is in the people who Jesus ministered to come in a way from his lineage. And I'll explain that further on. But when we look at this, we see the setup. We see that Ham's 4 sons started these empires. So it's right there. The truth of the matter is right there. It's the 4 that really plague Israel. But it's the 4 that God delivers them from. He delivers them from many others. But this is the 4 main ancient empires that God delivers the Israelites from. So here's my challenge to you. I know, like I said, I know lineage is not fun. But what can you look at that you know that God is helping you with? The things that you struggle with because of generational stuff. And where do you see the positive and the negative? And where can you pray to God, for help with the things that you are struggling with and that your family line has struggled with? It's not easy. It's not easy facing these questions, and I know that because I have to face them too. And I know that my children are going to have to face the same questions. But I also know that I can rely on Jesus and truly come to him and ask him for help in these moments of struggle. So, where can you do that? I hope today you see Jesus all around you. I hope that you see the promise of God's covenant all around you. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.